What's going on, guys? Back in with another video. Ahsoka episode 7. I watched it last night and I'm doing the review today. Hope the audio is a little better. I upgraded and got a separate microphone, so I guess we'll see. Anyway, spoilers. If you haven't seen it, don't watch this. But we start off and Hera is speaking to Mon Mothma and the other leaders of the New Republic. It just further enforces the incompetence of them. Mon Mothma being the only competent one. She's, on the verge of being court-martialed and stripped of her rank for disobeying her orders. And lo and behold, who walks in? C-3PO. Now, this is a cameo that people were kind of upset about. And me personally, I would rather be C-3PO than a de-aged CGI Leia. So, on behalf of Leia, C-3PO shows up and says that her mission was approved. Mon Mothma takes her to the side and asks her, how serious is this threat of Thrawn? And she says, we better be prepared for the worst. Skip forward to Ahsoka, who is on her shuttle in the mouth of the Purrgil on her way to find Thrawn and Ezra and Sabine. She's training with a hologram of Anakin. And at first I was like, really? How is he on this ship? But after 5 seconds, I realized that it was, a holo recording. And it's just, them milking out that nostalgia a little bit longer and having Hayden as Anakin. Then I realized that it was the scene from Tales of the Jedi, pretty much verbatim. So that was really cool. It was super nice to see, super nice to start off the show like that. And I was like, at this point, I feel like they have utilized Hayden and Anakin to a perfect degree. Anything more would just be like, really? So Ahsoka shows up and instantly is bombarded with these bombs that were set up around the planet. I can't think of the name of the planet to save my life. But anyway, Ahsoka takes the evasive. Thrawn knows they're there. We skip forward to Sabine and Ezra, on the move with those hermit crab people. And then an odd scene, which I kind of thought was very out of character. Baylan and Shin speak, and Baylan says, go destroy them. And she's like, you're not going to help. And it's almost like he just abandons her. He's like, go take your place in the new empire. Then what is he going to do? Now, I don't know if this is them post-production trying to alter the story to, deal with Rey's death. But it just seemed like a very out of character thing, because the last thing we saw them, they were talking about, he senses something on this planet. He trained her to be more. There was never any kind of inclination that he was going to just, all right, go do that. I'm going to do this. Peace out. So it was weird. Shin and these marauders show up and things start getting crazy. Ezra and Sabine talk about how they got there, what happened, this and that. And one thing that really caught me was so the Empire lost, the Emperor's dead. And she's like, that's what they say. Bullshit, dude. We know the sequel trilogy's coming. You got to say that. Me personally, didn't happen. Fake news. But whatever. I was like, haha, yeah, that's hilarious. So they show up, start fighting. Josh from Den of the Nerds, who is on a podcast with Star Wars Theory, on Mondays, called Nerd Theory, predicted everything we've seen pertaining to Thrawn, the Night Sisters, Ezra somehow being Chirrut Imwe from Rogue One and using force-enhanced martial arts. Sabine tries to give him his lightsaber and he's like, no, you keep it. It's I get it. He hasn't used one in 10 years, but it's it just seems so, it seems so cheesy. They're just gunning for this. Sabine, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to be negative, but she is my least favorite part of the show. I can't stand her character. I can't stand the acting. I can't stand that they've turned her into a femme god, that it is a Mandalorian Jedi, female. It just speaks Disney all over it. Anyway, we get this cool, somewhat action scene where they're all fighting, and then Ahsoka shows up and saves the day. Somehow Ahsoka was able to contact Sabine, sort of. She doesn't flat out say, oh, I heard Ahsoka speaking to me through the Force, but she gets a hold of her somehow. So Sabine then finds out that Ahsoka is actually not dead and she has found them. Just further enforces the idea that they didn't need to do all this to make Sabine a likable character. People liked her from the get-go. Whatever. Balin confronts Ahsoka or vice versa, and they fight, and he says, "You can't defeat me," and she says, "I don't need to." Then she gets away. Then that's when she goes and helps Sabine and Ezra and the Hermit Crab people. We get this cool reunion between Ahsoka and Ezra, which is heartfelt. Balin just like storms off. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's very odd. Thrawn the whole time is, pulling the strings, manipulating things, kind of giving up his easy pieces on the board, because the whole time he's just trying to buy, to stall and buy time, get everything they're loading up from this temple, which I think it's probably sarcophaguses with people in them, people to be reanimated. I don't know. That's just my theory. So he learns that Anakin Skywalker was her master. Boom. Awesome, cool Easter egg. If you've read Thrawn Alliances, Thrawn knew Anakin. Thrawn knew Anakin was Vader. Vader knew Thrawn knew he was Anakin. So it's like this back and forth game where Thrawn was trolling him, but he wasn't going to flat out tell Vader, "I know you're Anakin Skywalker." Anyway, so he's like, "Oh, Ahsoka's actually a big deal. This is a problem." Well, at the end of the day, we're left with one episode left of this season, series season. However, there's probably going to be more. And from start to finish, Ahsoka shows up, offers to Shin, "Oh, I can help you," because somehow Shin's on her own now. I don't understand. She's reunited with Ezra, and pretty much I feel like at the end of the next episode, Thrawn's gonna make it to the New Republic, and that's how the season's gonna end. So there wasn't really a whole lot that happened plot-wise in this episode, but it was very action-packed, and I was pretty much on the edge of my seat the entire time. So I enjoyed it. I had some issues with it, but I've had issues with the show overall. Still yet, I would still give it like an 8.5 out of 10. It's, like I said, it's still the best Star Wars we've got in a very long time. And that's all I got, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, check out more videos, and we'll see you on the next one.